train in perfect wisdom, i.e., in the inward emptiness too, in the emptiness of own marks. When he has stood in this emptiness, then, wherever he gives gifts, the perfection of giving will constantly and always be fulfilled in him. And when he has fulfilled this perfection of giving, he will, when his inner and outer belongings are cut or broken off, produce the thought, "There is nothing that cuts or breaks me." The functions of the Dharma body. The activity which appeases the places of rebirth. The activity which appeases the hells. Here, surveying the world with my Buddha eye, I have seen in the eastern direction, in world systems countless like the sands of the Ganges, bodhisattvas who have deliberately hurled themselves into the great hells, and who, after they have appeased the sufferings of beings in these great hells, demonstrate dharma to those beings in the hells by means of three kinds of miracles, i.e., their miraculous wonder-working power, the miraculous reading of their thoughts, and their miraculous admonition. When they have first appeased the sufferings in those hells, they then demonstrate dharma, with the help of their miraculous thought-reading and their miraculous admonitions. And it is with their great loving-kindness, their great compassion, their great sympathetic joy, and their great impartiality that these bodhisattvas demonstrate dharma. Thereupon, in the presence of these bodhisattvas, the thought of those beings in the hells becomes serene, and they emerge from those great hells. Thereafter they are reborn among gods and men, and will gradually, with the help of the three kinds of miracles, make an end of ill. And so for the other directions. The activity which appeases the world of animals. Here Subhuti, surveying the world with my Buddha eye in all directions, in world systems countless like the sands of the Ganges. I have seen bodhisattvas who serve upon the Buddhas and Lords with such an intense devotion that they are dear and not undear to them, that they please and do not displease them, and that they respect and do not disrespect them. And these bodhisattvas learn the Dharma, which those Buddhas and Lords teach, bear it in mind, and never allow it to be forgotten again before they win the supreme enlightenment. Moreover, Subhuti, surveying the world with my Buddha eye, I have seen in all directions, in world systems countless like the sands of the Ganges, bodhisattvas who, for the sake of animal beings, perform the surrender of themselves. Again and again all the limbs of these bodhisattvas are torn to pieces and scattered in the 10 directions, and then the animals eat their flesh. They thus acquire a feeling of friendliness for these bodhisattvas, and through their acquisition of this friendliness they emerge from that animal world and are reborn among gods and men. On being reborn there they please the Buddhas and Lords, and serve upon them. They hear the Dharma from these Buddhas and Lords, and as a result they progress to thusness. Gradually they are nirvanized in the realm of nirvana, which leaves nothing behind, and that through the three vehicles, i.e., the disciple vehicle, the pratyeka Buddha vehicle, or the great vehicle. It is thus that bodhisattvas achieve much good when they raise their thought to the supreme enlightenment and progress to thusness too, until they win final nirvana in the realm of nirvana, which leaves nothing behind. The activity which appeases the world of yama. Here, Subhuti, surveying the world with my Buddha eye, I have seen in all directions, in world systems countless like the sands of Ganges, bodhisattvas who allay in the beings belonging to the realm of the hungry ghosts all the sufferings which they feel in that realm. Thereupon the hearts of those hungry ghosts become friendly towards these bodhisattvas, and as a result they emerge from that world of hungry ghosts and are reborn in the world of gods and men. And they will never again be deprived of the Buddhas and Lords until they win final nirvana in the realm of nirvana, which leaves nothing behind. Thus, dwelling in the great compassion, the bodhisattva is concerned with the welfare of being, i.e., with leading them to final nirvana. The activity which appeases the world of the gods. Here, Subhuti, surveying the world with my Buddha eye, I have seen in all directions, in world systems countless like the sands of the Ganges, bodhisattvas who demonstrate dharma to the gods of the 4 great kings too, the Parinirmitavasarvatan gods. And those gods who have heard the dharma from these bodhisattvas have through the 3 vehicles gradually won final nirvana, do win final nirvana, and will win final nirvana. When they find that some gods have become intoxicated with the 5 kinds of the most excellent sense pleasures, they wait until their mansions are all ablaze and then demonstrate dharma to them as follows. Surely, says, impermanent are all conditioned things, ill, not your own, unstable, unreliable, bound to deteriorate. Who can trust in conditioned things? Here, Subhuti, surveying the world with my Buddha eye, I have seen in all directions in world systems countless like the sands of the Ganges bodhisattvas who dissuade from views about Brahma those who have settled down in them. How, sirs, can you produce such false views when all dharmas are empty, worthless, and insignificant? It is thus that the bodhisattvas, established in the great compassion, demonstrate dharma to beings. Wonderful indeed is this astonishing dharma of the bodhisattvas, the activity which appeases the world of men. Here, Subhuti, surveying the world with my Buddha eye, I have seen in all directions in world systems countless like the sands of the Ganges bodhisattvas who help men with the 4 means of conversion. Which 4? They are I. Gifts, E. Kind words, E. Actions for their benefit, IV. Consistency between words and deeds. I. And how does the bodhisattva help beings with gifts? He helps them with 2 kinds of gifts, i.e. IA material gifts and IB the gift of dharma. IA. And how does he help beings with material gifts? Coursing in perfect wisdom he gives away gold, silver, 2 horses and elephants, and he says to them, hey, you people come along. As I have not held on to these things, so also do you give them up. Having given them this gift, he leads them on to take their refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Some he makes take up the 5 precepts. Others he makes observe the 8 precepts on the Sabbath. Others he establishes in the 10 wholesome ways of action. Others he causes to enter on the first trance 2. Others he establishes in arhatship, or in the enlightenment of a pratyeka Buddha. It is thus that the bodhisattva, who courses in perfect wisdom, gives material gifts to all beings and establishes them in a state of the highest security. This is the bodhisattva's wonderful and astonishing dharma. And how does the bodhisattva who courses in perfect wisdom help beings with the gift of dharma? There are 2 kinds of gift of dharma. Iba the worldly and Ibb the supramundane. Iba, what then is the gift of the worldly dharma? It is the teaching of all worldly dharmas, the demonstration and revelation, i.e. of the kinds of repulsiveness, the 4 trances, the 4 stations of Brahma, the 4 formless attainments, and of whatever other worldly dharmas there may be that are shed by the foolish common people. And when the bodhisattva has given this gift of worldly dharmas, he then by various methods turns them away from their cultivation and through his skill in means establishes them in holy dharmas and in their fruit. And which are the holy dharmas and which is their fruit? The holy dharmas are described as the 37 dharmas which act as wings to enlightenment and the 3 doors to deliverance. The fruit of the holy dharmas is the fruit of a stream winner, 2. Arhatship. Furthermore, this is the holy dharma of a bodhisattva that he has a cognition of the fruit of stream winner, 2. Arhatship, of the enlightenment of a pratyeka Buddha, 2. Of the 37 dharmas which act as wings to enlightenment, 2. Of the 10 powers of a tathagata, 2. Of the great friendliness, the great compassion, the great sympathetic joy, and the great impartiality. And if there are in addition to these any other worldly and supramundane dharmas with or without outflows, conditioned or unconditioned, their cognition up to the knowledge of all modes, these are called the holy dharmas of a bodhisattva. And what, again, is for a bodhisattva the fruit of the holy dharmas? All the fruits up to the forsaking of all defilements and their residues. Subhuti. Does, then, the bodhisattva reach the knowledge of all modes? The Lord. Yes, he does. Subhuti. In that case, what is the difference between him and a tathagata? The Lord. There is a difference between them. Subhuti. What, then, is it? The Lord. The bodhisattva reaches the knowledge of all modes, but the tathagata is called one who has attained to its cognition. And why? For the thought in which he is established when he has reached the non-blindness for all dharmas cannot be apprehended. as respectively different in the bodhisattva and the tathagata. So much about a bodhisattva's gift of worldly dharma, which becomes a basis for his gift of supramundane dharmas. It is thus that the bodhisattva, when he has enjoined upon beings the gift of the worldly dharmas, goes on, through his skill in means, until he establishes them in the knowledge of all modes. The fourfold means of conversion. IBB and what is, on the part of the bodhisattva, the gift of the supramundane dharmas, which are not shared with all the foolish common people. They are the four applications of mindfulness. B. The four right efforts. C. The four bases of psychic power. D. The five dominants. E. The five powers. F. The seven limbs of enlightenment. G. The holy eightfold path, of the three gateways.